Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video on Minecraft Hardcore. I managed to survive 300 days. It's quite an achievement, even for me, and I enjoy it, every single moment of it. After this video is uploaded, I will be doing a short world tour. So, look forward to that. Also, if you have any sort of ideas or any sort of maps that are uploaded that you want to see me try and survive on Hardcore for 100 days, then do post in the comments below. Also, I do live stream most of my days on this world on Twitch, so be sure to check the description below. And also, as usual, there's a small percentage of you who actually watch my videos are not subscribed, are subscribed. So if you do enjoy the video, please do subscribe, and if you already are, just check to make sure you are. Anyway, into the video. I spent most of day 201 doing some trading with the villagers to ensure I got some great profits. The main reason for this was because I wanted to get my beacon to max strength so I could use haste 2. The next day I went down to the beacon and started getting work on that second to last layer. I spent a bit of time down here mining some diorite, some stone for the stonemason up in the breeder. I even started furnishing the place with stone bricks and made a stone brick staircase. By the time I had everything finished and I started leaving, it was day 203. A zombie fell from above and it landed on one of my pumpkin seeds, delaying my profits by a few seconds.
Right, I'm putting some stone above this, just to stop the damn zombies from falling onto it.
The next day I bred some turtles for the first time, and then I realized I had to wait for them to actually lay their eggs. During the wait for the turtle eggs, I did some more trades with the villagers and then made a stonemason for a zombie villager I found earlier but didn't explain about. Towards the end of the day, I checked on the turtles and they had laid some eggs, so I mined them with the silk touch pickaxe and moved them into a better position where they were more secure.
And then just put the 4 eggs on top of it. There we go.
I added a wall at the back to try and make sure it was more secure for the eggs to hatch, but this wouldn't be the case later on. I also got respiration free and put it on my helmet. I then took the potion of weakness and golden apple I made down to the new stonemason villager inside the mine. Since he was the one closest to the beacon and probably going to be my main source of emerald gathering for the beacon blocks, I made him a nice home down here out of stone bricks. The process did take a day or so by the end of it, it was either day 206 or towards the beginning of 207. I even put some wall up to make sure he was safe from any monsters that tried to sneak on in. I mean, look at this. Isn't this nice? He's gonna really love it here. I gave him the usual weakness and golden apple combo and then got on my way to let him heal. After that, I got to work on more of the beacon. I grabbed some spare glass blocks and when I made my way back, he was nice and healed and ready to live there. For day 207, I did some deep sea diving to get some clay and some flint for more of those delicious profits. Look at all that money roll in. I'll have this beacon built in no time. After trading with the villagers for most of the day, I checked on the turtle eggs that I placed before. They were destroyed, or they hatched and the turtles despawned. I don't know what happened. I woke up in the villager breeder because I slept there last night, and I immediately traded with the stonemason there. I used all the profits gained from the day to continue working on the beacon. I even had some spare time to renovate the cave floor. I also finally got the staircase done in the cave. I spent the rest of the day sorting items in my storage room. Day 209, once again back down in this cave, lighting up some areas of darkness and continuing work on the beacon. I got a name tag and then named the mason down in the cave to keep him there forever. I named it after one of my Twitch moderators. At the end of the day, when I checked on my villager breeder, I found out that apparently there's a slight visual glitch which causes one of the villagers to become an absolute unit.
Stonemason became an absolute unit. Holy shit.
The next day, I got more profits. I went back into the mines and started mining a ton of diorite for the stonemason. I finally got the second to last layer of the beacon done. Now all I had left was one more layer to do. I also made a nice staircase to make it easier to get up to the mason. Day 211, more beacon work. Finally, something else in the video other than building the beacon or doing trades. I was doing some rolls for enchantments to try and get efficiency 5. And let me tell you something, this took a while. It took a few days to get that. I did get Silk Touch and put it on my axe though. The next day begins the long streak of trying to get efficiency 5 from this villager. Safe to say, it took all of day 212 to try and get him with no luck, but at least the highlight of the day was a wandering trader actually showed up. The fuck? Hey, it's a guy. What's he doing here? The only highlight I could think of for day 213 was disenchanting the Neverite armor, as I was going to get better protection on it. I spent most of day 214 and part of day 215 inside the end, fixing up the farm into a nice 3x3. And then I got it all nice and set up and everything was working fine. Back to spending the rest of day 215 trying to get the efficiency 5. Trust me, once I get the beacon actually built, we'll actually get to some more fun stuff. For now though, so even more of this. I then went into the Nether towards the end of day 215, probably go back to the end to do some more top-ups and help improve Enderman spawn rates on the platform to the farm. Oh yeah, I lost a chunk of my health to an Enderman that managed to do some damage. I spent about half of day 217 mostly doing some more cleanup work, trying to get more Endermen to spawn on the farm. Hey, look at that. We're back from the end, and look what we're doing again. More efficiency 5, trying to get that roll. Day 218, made a second lectern and put it in my offhand to make the process a little bit faster to try and get a roll of efficiency 5. I spent all day 218 trying to get that efficiency 5, but then I decided to go to sleep. So I just went and stood AFK by the Enderman farm for, I believe, the rest of day 218. Day 219, I finally get efficiency 5, and you can sort of hear how happy I was. Oh, we finally got it! We finally got it, Danius! Oh my god! It took 20 days and 7 mending bucks, but we finally got it! It's 60 emeralds though! What a price! If any of you are confused by what I meant when I said 7 mending bucks, I got 7 mending book rolls, more than 1 efficiency 5. This man is not screwed around with his price. He knows how good this is. The next day, I got the efficiency 5 and immediately went to put it on my pickaxe. So I was ready for when I got the beacon fully built. Okay, let's see. 374 times. Anyways, still got a day left. Time to get some more beacon work done. So, time to get some diorite. Oh, even more iron. Great. So close. We're so close to this. I spent the rest of the day mining more diorite, and then towards the end during the night I actually bred some of the chickens since I hadn't seen them in a while. The next morning, yet again, a baby zombie got in and infected my mending villager. Who's that? Oh, you motherfucker. Get out of there. How did you get in? It wasn't too much of a problem though, since I had a farmer that was selling me apples, 4 apples for an emerald. So I just made another gold apple and used the last weakness potion to get them fixed up. There had been a contingency of zombie noises happening underneath my dragon room for a while, so I mined the floor and found out that some were just chilling underneath on the old staircase to the mine. I cleared it out, and then when I came back up, the villager was nice and healed, with much better prices as well. After getting efficiency 5, I immediately turned my focus onto finishing the beacon. And that means more diorite mining. It's eventually going to get there. Man, the days are certainly going by quick because of all this mining and trading. Day 223 I did some sorting through my chest again. I harvested some carrots for, you guessed it, more trading. Day 224 I placed down some stairs in the 1-block ponds that I've got in my farm so they would stop turning the ice so I can keep my boots on when I go over them. I even harvested my beetroot farm and actually got that growing more. Later on that day, more clay diving. Day 225, more of the same with mining, but I've made more progress on the beacon by adding 16 blocks today. And then went straight back to mining some diorite. Headed back to the breeder and continued doing even more trades. Day 226, I was at the mob drop farm for a little bit. I then trapped the villager in a boat that escaped from the farm and then left them there to try and get infected so I could make a new house for him. And back to this again. The next day I did some enchantment rolls and got a power 4 book. I then got protection 3 on my Neverite chest piece, replacing the disenchanted projectile protection 2. I then realized how many more blocks of emeralds I needed before the beacon was complete. I was almost done. I also picked up the crafting table and moved it right next to the stonemason in the caves so I could just make the emeralds right there quicker. The next day I am once again back in the swamp for clay. The beacon was closing in on its final development stage. It just needed a select number of blocks and I was so close to getting them. So I farmed some potatoes and some carrots to get enough food to sell to the farmers. Once again, day 229 spent trading with the villagers. I just really wanted this beacon to be up. Also, the villager I trapped in the boat wasn't getting infected, so I swam around and I found a zombie nearby, so I decided to let him chill in the boat with that zombie.
I have no idea.
They both are just slowly turning their heads towards me. I prepared the villager's new home and just waited for him to get infected. Day 230, huge progress on the beacon. I got 18 blocks placed on it, and that meant I only had like 10 or 11 to go. I was almost done. So I mined all the materials I could, granite, stone, and diorite. I mean, just look at all this diorite right here. It's actually amazing how much there is hidden in all this stone. Got a massive party of iron golems going on. Hello, he's peeking in. I skipped most of the trades and here we are, with the remaining blocks needed to make the beacon fully powered. I smacked those blocks into place and then put an emerald in to charge it up and it was glorious. My first ever beacon, fully complete. Oh yes, there we go. We have it. I believe I spent the rest of the day down here just having fun with the new machine gun pickaxe I have. I smelted some iron and other items and then I decided to fly around for a bit, now that I had all that work off my shoulders. I even made my way up to the top of the floating islands that I saw in the distance when I began this 100 days. God damn. I even found a broken portal with a mending golden hoe. A mending golden hoe. Wow. I flew to the village that I discovered, with all the first original villagers came from, and then I decided to fly a little bit past it, and turns out there's a village like right there, not too far from it. The village had a pretty cool layout, and it even had another broken portal like right next to it. After having a new location to go and see more villagers, I made my way back home. Started off day 233 by trying to find a pillager outpost so I could set up a raid farm. I didn't find any, but I did find a swamp village. I'm starting to find more villages now that I'm actually able to explore after finishing the beacon. I found another village, by the way, so that's pretty cool. And they have a pumpkin farm. I decided to just fly back home and play it safe for a couple of days. Wanted to make sure I got my elytra a little bit better protected. I also realized earlier that I took all the quartz but never replanted. Luckily I had some laying about, so I quickly replanted them. Day 234, a person in my Twitch chat redeemed a house for them, so I started work on building it in the swamp area. It took all day, but I got the roof finished and I got most of the pillars up. I just needed to get some windows. The next day I grabbed some sand, smelted it, and then placed the glass panes in the house. Pretty much finishing up the frame. I just had to get to work on filling it in. I started off day 236 by getting Unbreaking free on my new protection free armor. And I spent the rest of the day doing some trades with the villagers again. The next day I tried putting efficiency 5 on my axe so it would take a little less time to chop down trees and other items, but the enchantment requirement was a bit higher than what I had. I then had to brainstorm for what I wanted to do for my first real quote-unquote project. What I did was just make a long bridge that connected the two villages that were nearby each other. So I immediately got to work getting stone and then flew my way over and slept at the village for the night. Day 238, I went to the village and used the stonemason there, since I knew it was there, and began turning the stone into stone brick stairs, and stone brick walls. I immediately started getting to work placing the bricks down and started making different staircases and platforms. Just to get the first village done with all of its different layers connected took about maybe 1 full day. Correction, it took 3 days to actually complete. By the end of like day 240 was when I had everything complete. Day 241 spent all day making the bridge going across the water, using up all of the stone I could, and then at the end of the day I ran out, so I flew back to my usual mining spot with the beacon to quickly machine gun myself some more. I spent all of day 242 in the mines getting more stone, and then the next day I flew all the way back to continue work on the bridge. I even saw some pillagers, so I decided to try and set up a raid. The plan of the raid was simple: go to the village next to the water, board up one of the villagers inside the house with blocks, and then activate the raid and stay around the water. The problem was that as soon as I activated the raid, the villagers just ran out of their houses and got killed by zombies, instantly feeling the raid when I was trying to find out where they were coming from. Big sad moment. I took out my slight frustration on the pillagers on the hill, then flew home and went to sleep. Alright, 244, once again back to working on this bridge. I managed to get across the mountains and down the other side by the end of 244, and then I went to sleep at the village again. I almost reached the village by the end of day 249, but I decided to just fly back, and then I decided to go to the end for a couple of days. I spent both day 246 and 247 in the end doing some more flood control to ensure more enderman spawns at the farm, and then I returned home and went to sleep. Day 248 got more stone and decided to add another layer to the mob drop farm, which did take pretty much all of day 248. Then day 249 I finally got the bridge connected. Day 250 I got some support beams set on the platforms, and then I flew north and I found a desert biome. So I had a position where I could get a ton of glass. I spent all of day 251 trying to find the woodland mansion, but still couldn't find it. But on my way back, I discovered something else that could be very useful to me. An ocean monument. Ocean monument. I flew all the way home and then went to sleep. Day 252, I made my way to the Nether for some more wither skulls. While waiting on the withers to respawn, I flew out for a bit of exploration and found a bastion. I took down its notes, and then I went back to kill some more wither skulls. When I went to go fly to the bastion again, I forgot to switch to my elytra and I almost died. Luckily, I managed to get on a tree to not get mauled by the hoglins. After taking a moment to recuperate myself, I went back to the bastion to explore it a bit. I think it was a treasure bastion, but I didn't confirm until later. I saw that there was a chest, but there was also a bunch of brutes lurking around, so I stayed around on the top and dispatched the 3 brutes. And then I made a bomb for the chest, destroyed it to pick up everything, and then flew away. I then remembered I left the shulker box back there, so I went back to grab it and then came on back. Nothing really much happened on day 254, I just did some more villager trades. Day 255, I made an automated chicken egg collector, so I got the chest in, the hopper down, and all the chickens that I could lure it into and get everything placed. I extended upon it later on in the video. Day 256, I wanted to make a lodestone so I can easily make my way back home, so I went to the Nether and blew up some of the netherrack to find the hidden netherite beneath. Every so often throughout day 257 and I think day 258, I would make a couple of potions of poison, splash potions to be exact, more so just to get wither roses when I spawn the wither the next time. I also flattened the area next to the barn that had a gap in it so I wouldn't risk falling down though when I'm walking around. I also got the lodestone made and I put it down right in the center of my house. The next day I healed the villager at the village that I tried to do the raid at but failed due to the zombies, and then locked him inside a nice dirt cave so he would be safe from the next time I did a raid there. I even found a house I didn't even see during my first ever visits and just took all the loot inside back to my house. Day 259, went flying towards the ocean monument that I saw before. Luckily I had a map that would guide me there, and even came across a spruce village along the way. Decided to see what it had, and picked up the pumpkins and the campfire. At night I find the ocean monument, but I was unprepared, so I spent a while looking around to see what I could do. I was looking for a cow, but I found a buried treasure map instead, and immediately went to dig that up and then return home with the goods. I then used the opportunity when I returned home to start working on potions. Along the way I found a set of cows and nabbed one in a boat and parked it near the monument again, so I was ready when I returned. I spent all of day 261 mostly just setting up the pumpkin farm and fishing for pufferfish, which I then used to create some potions of water breathing. 262 I flew up to one of the nearby mountain tops and set it ablaze, and then built a miniature beacon out of netherrack and lit it.
Nice. And there it is up there. You can see it burning eternally in the dark, in the night.
Day 263 I added more chickens to the now expanded egg collection farm. Also, there was an enderman that was chilling in the barn attic, so I got a boat and trapped him in it and named him after my other Twitch moderator. I spent all of day 264 flying back to the monument, but it was night when I got there, and I didn't want to risk being cut off by drowned when I went inside, so I just waited until the morning, with my cow and my boat. Day 265, I drank my water breathing potion and made my way inside. So what? The door should be here. Hey, friends. Yep. Are they dropping sugar? Are they dropping? They're dropping crystals. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I get it. If the spikes are up in their head, in their body, that's when the thorns will hurt me. Got it. Yeah, because he's gonna keep putting the fatigue on. Oh, he's right there. So wait, what do you want me to do first before I attack him any further? How do I set up the farm? Or do I have to drain it first to get the farm working? Yeah, 1 second. Alright, so just kill it. Alright. Let me just kill him then. Oh god. Up, down. Let me actually swim up and get a door placed. Yeah. Thank goodness you told me how to use these skills. We got him! And he dropped some sponges. Oop. Nice. I know. Wait, hold on. I think I saw his tail. Here we go. Found him. Let's... Just need to bait them out. Like that. Right, there's a bunch more. Let's retreat this way. I should swim up. Come on. Yeah, that's it. Oh, retreat. The water breathing has run out. Nice. So that's, I think this might be the right wing. Alright. I had killed 2 of the 3 Elder Guardians. I decided to make my way home so I could have more water breathing potions. I knew where exactly the last one was. It was going to be in the left wing from looking at it from the entrance. I also repositioned my follower and subscriber goal on my Twitch so it was easier to see my health and experience level. I spent the rest of the day sorting through the chest and doing some more villager trades. And before I went to sleep, I got efficiency 5 on my axe. Started off day 267 by adding more chicken to the egg collector. I spent about 2 to 3 days leveling up my mob farm by adding 2 more levels on top of it. And on day 269 I got it complete. I also tested the sponge's effectiveness in the water, as this was my first time actually using them. As I had 1 more Elder Guardian to kill in the monument, I got myself 4 buckets of milk and prepared myself to go back there. I flew my way over to the Ocean Monument yet again and decided to use the new sponges I had to make it easier to get into the final Elder Guardian. The hardest part about it was he was in an open room that had long range, which the Guardians had the huge advantage of, and there was also quite a few of them in there as well. It took a while of pelting him with some arrows and just trying to get the arrows to hit, but then I swam in and I smited the last Elder Guardian, and then immediately got rid of the effect. Nothing much else happened, but I did have some plans for this place in the future. But for now though, I went to the vault and burst in and stole all the gold blocks, and then made my way back home. I also didn't forget to grab all the sponges as well, so I had even more of them when it came to it. On the way back, I made a stop to grab bunches of sugarcane because my automated sugarcane farm was not performing as well as I expected it to, so I'm going to try and revamp that into something in the future. It was night by the time I landed back home, so I immediately just went to sleep. Perfect landing. I'm getting very good at that. I spent day 272 drying off all the sponges in the nether. I got a new ocean exploration map from another cartographer villager that I had in my farm. Ooh, we do have a new location. The next morning I immediately set out on a fly quest and I found the new monument. But it was a little bit harder because it was more in open water compared to the other monument next to the island. I decided I'd come back later when I was more prepared, but on the way back I saw a mushroom biome, so I decided to stop there for a bit and collect a few things. Before I returned home, I made a couple of bowls and decided to have some nice mushroom stew before I left. Okay. Delicious mushroom stew. I safely made it back home. Day 274, I swapped out the sugarcane in the machine for bamboo. I still have no idea how this will work or how to get the redstone set up, but I'll figure it out eventually. That night I set up a infection type thing with got a zombie trapped in it, but when I came down the next morning it had despawned, which is quite unfortunate. I took it out on some melons and pumpkins and then sold them off to the villagers for some profits. Day 276, I started work on a new big project, but I knew I wasn't going to finish it by the end of 300 days because it was going to be too large to do. But you'll see me work on it every so often throughout the next set of days. So I started by burning down the trees. I cleared out a few more trees and then started work on landscaping by grabbing some stone bricks and then bringing them down and began setting out the surrounding wall. Oh yeah, I also grew a new mushroom farm on the mycelium that I brought back. Also, pay attention to the top right. Yeah, that's how long I spent building this wall with very little breaks in between. I really wanted to commit to getting this project at least set out and working by the time of 300 days. And since I know you guys don't want to just see me do building for about maybe 10 minutes, I'm cutting down into specific areas of highlights. Mostly it's just filling out this wall and even renovating an old underwater statue or whatever it's called, and using those bricks to help fill in the wall as well. Also during one of these days, I actually finally got all the beetroot seed spots taken up in my beetroot farm. The only other real highlight was me starting to do some drainage work with the sponges to make the area more drier and easier to dig out. And then afterwards I went to the chicken farm and found that they had laid a ton of eggs. So I took them all and put them into the shulker box underneath the house by the potion stand. And then the next day on day 291, I immediately went to the end and began setting up for a ton of wither roses. The wither's spawn explosion wouldn't kill all these chickens, but luckily that's why I had potions of poison, to get them down to the lowest possible HP. I then spawned the wither and just defeated it, as its explosion just did all the rest. Thank you very much. I immediately made my second beacon once I got the opportunity to. I activated my second beacon the next day and it finally gave me the achievement it robbed from me last time. I made a stack of fireworks and spent the rest of the day filling in the outer edges of a fully upgraded map I had. I spent day 293 to 296 back on working on the wall and drying out the area. And then on day 297 I had the idea of making a small fireworks display to celebrate 300 days. I started by making 7 or so dispensers and then setting them up on top of the villager breeder and linking them all together with redstone and a lever. I then obviously had to gather enough supplies to make the charges and the fireworks. I spent some of day 299 setting up some of the fireworks and doing a quick test run. Turned out pretty okay.
There we go. It's gonna look it's gonna look nice at night.
I then spent the rest of the day doing some profits with the villagers. I then spent all morning, or almost all of day 300, trying to look for another woodland mansion without any real success. It was getting dark, so I made my way back just in time to have a nice fireworks display. Ooh. 300 days! And after that, I went to bed and had a nice earned sleep. And woke up on day 301. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, then yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, you know how it goes. And yeah, be sure to pass around. My 100 days video seemed to do the absolute best, while as my 200 days seemed to struggle a bit. If you have any ideas for any 100 days challenges, then let me know and I'll see what I can do. But apart from that, thanks for tuning in for another 100 days in my hardcore Minecraft world, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.